look at his EP, a couple things are like, interesting. First of all, it says it was released through Gamma, not OVO. It says four bats and Gamma. Also, what's very interesting on it is that the song with Drake, which is Act Two, Data 8, that's not on it at all. So Drake's song is not on it. It's not he's not releasing through OVO. He also is tweeting at Kendrick Lamar. And then if you also further look, he got Kanye West on his shit, which is very interesting. Like, I'm wondering if there's something there. If it is, it's probably business wise. But I'm wondering what happened at that juncture right there. Right, that's kind of odd, right? That's just kind of odd. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm surprised that Spotify didn't force Kendrick to take this down. Like my nigga, you literally put a nigga's house and address essentially as your cover art. You gotta take this bullshit down. I'm surprised they didn't force him to. If you're wondering why, I keep seeing everyone mention that, um, if you go to Meet the Grams, I believe. Let's see if we can find the singles. Yeah, Meet the Grams single cover is now blank. And people were wondering what happened to that infamous picture that was stolen, right, from Drake's father's briefcase, right? Drake's father briefcase. Where's that image again? I'm trying to find it. I'm used to so much porn on this goddamn site, man. I'm over here like, give me 1 second. Let me just see if. Okay, here's a picture. Thank you. Yeah, the reason. So everyone was like, oh, Kendrick is admitting that Drake got him with this thing, right? Like, yo, he planted it there, and you took the bait. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, I'm still not sold on that this was completely being planted. Just to be honest. However, I do know why it's not on streaming platforms. Like these are actual prescriptions, and these are actual medications, and that breaks all the privacy rules for cover art on all DSPs. So Spotify should have removed it. Apple Music should have removed it. You can't have someone having as their cover art someone's prescription. You get what I'm saying? That's the obvious thing. Like Kendrick didn't remove this. Like the Kendrick didn't remove this. The DSP removed it because it's breaking their terms and service for cover art. Do you get what I'm saying? Like this is not like Kendrick. Like, oh my god, you caught me. Like the story's already told, whether Kendrick got caught or not, or whether he got baited or not. The story's already out there. Deleting the cover art doesn't do anything. That's the DSP deleting it for few reasons. Number one, privacy, and there's just something that just screams illegality of putting up medications with the person's name and also address on the medication. I think that's kind of obvious, right? Somebody says so. It's validated. Okay. No. Hey, listen. Well, allegedly Drake did plant it. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's true, and I haven't asked him. I don't know if that's true because these just seem kind of random. Drake's he took credit for it on Family Matters, right? Did he take credit for it? One thing I'll say is that if Drake did plant it, you know what would even be a doper move? To drop the video of you putting the things in the fucking thing. Like, yo, yo, let's put a shirt in there. Even though I get what people are saying, the shirt says shorty and or shorty collection, and it was meant. But I ain't gonna lie, man. You should at least have a video of you packing a joint, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think legit, his father might have just got robbed by some bimbo, bro. Like some chick just robbed him, and shit, it's a good way to spin it because I don't think Kendrick's gonna come out and be like, "No, you didn't fool us. Here's the chick who robbed your father." Like she ain't gonna do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, so Kendrick gonna be quiet about it, and Drake could then set the narrative. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you know how genius Drake would look if he had a video, or like, yo, if he had a video of him and the boys just laughing, like, yo, bro, yo, you know what you should do? You'll make a fake Ozempic prescription and throw that bitch in there. Yeah. Matter of fact, yo, throw them sleeping pills in there too. Yeah. Like, you know how hilarious that would be. But because and again, this is why, and I'm saying that also to be fair in both sides. Word of mouth, I don't take it as much. That's why Meet the Grams, even though, by the way, this is a cover art for Meet the Grams, I don't even count that song. That song is like a bunch of lies or just rumors and hearsay, right? So, like, I want to give credit where credit's due for some clever shit, for reveals, but not for lies or for trying to cap. You know what I mean? And on either side, right? Like on either side. This is where Drake had mentioned it, right? No. He mentioned it on Hard Part 6.
Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulated, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave free and I missed the morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was...
Hey, by the way, and also, so like, I don't know if Drake planted any of this, or maybe if he did plant something, I think maybe the child thing, because this child thing just seems so wildly incorrect. And it's just crazy to just authoritatively say that a nigga has a child and you have zero proof. You get what I mean? So I think maybe that was planted. I just don't know if I believe that this was planted. But I think Drake said it here. And also, chat, I'm trying to get one of the Toronto mans on here. They said they got some more details about the shooting. You know, we got some live on the ground people. Let me see if I could. Are they on yet? Nah. We got to get to the bottom of a lot of this shit going on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, we're having somebody from Toronto get on soon.
Small town, my Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it.
Now, as I said, I don't know if Drake plotted all this because I'm telling you, if I plotted all this shit, man, I'm having slight proof. Nigga, I don't even care what the proof is. Like, bro, I would have had some proof of me doing this. That would have made, honestly, I do think that Not Like Us is just that's a bop. But I think Drake would be winning considerably up until Not Like Us if he had proof that he had Kendrick in the studio just rapping about a bunch of lies that he planted for Kendrick to rap about. Oh, now, granted, I'm still like, there's no proof that this is not true. But what I'm saying is, you got to drop the proof too. Like, you know what I mean? The same way how we want Kendrick to drop the proof about you. If he's saying that shit, if you had the proof that you set it up, oh.
We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation.
Yo, look at y'all in here. Jake seats on my act. You and Drake falling out, yet you don't seem as compromised. No, bro, like, I'm telling you what moves would have been better executed, right? Like, yo, if Drake had any proof, and by the way, I'm not saying he didn't set it up. He could have set it up. I'm just saying for the fans to believe it, like, it's gonna hit harder if you had the whole thing. Like, I kind of believe like the daughter thing, even though people are like, yo, if you go to this part in Family Matters, you see the daughter on the wall. I feel like somebody fed Kendrick bad info on that. However, I don't think that's the only thing. I think that legit they found a chick who probably stole from Drake's dad. And here's the thing too. If it's just random items and we don't even see the briefcase, one pair of glove, I gotta imagine they probably just took a few things out of the guy's suit. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm kind of assuming as well.
Manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga. I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months. The distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get into that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with, it's so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and how they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop.
Yo.
Big Ak.
Yo, Friday, what's good with you, man?
I'm good, man. Just watching this whole thing unfold.
If people aren't familiar with you, quickly tell people who you are. I get a lot of my media local hip hop coverage out of Toronto, Canada from you. Shit, last time I had you on here, you helped put me onto some new artists coming up in the scene. I've seen your name buzzing all the time because I mean, you've been involved. You know what I mean? When it comes to Toronto hip hop, that's you. Uh, that I
Yeah,
expect.
most definitely. Most definitely. I run a podcast network called the We Love Hip Hop podcast. We Love Hip Hop Network. We do interviews and regular podcast format type shit.
Yeah,
And we just cover Toronto news and we cover everything that's going on in the scene. So it's not only Toronto shit. Like,
yeah.
remember, I had to put you on to what happened with your homies that last time we spoke. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
stretched out of that stretched out of Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the situation with Annoying TV at OVO Fest that weekend. Okay. There's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
The city might be on fire today, right? Like the conversation wise, I'm pretty sure everybody's talking about, somebody did a drive by at Drake's house. Like, what in the hell is going on? People from outside Toronto kind of look at Drake as more of an ambassador for the entire country of Canada, right? Like we see Nicki
Fact.
Minaj who basically say, she can't get into Toronto and she made a call to Drizzy and somehow she which by the way, that's kind of crazy, right? I can't get into Toronto. Oh, I just called Drake. I'm in now. It's like, I'm not sure what links he got, but obviously he's the golden boy. What's the latest and what are you hearing about this whole situation that happened? And you can give me a recap of exactly what you heard at the times you heard it. Take it away.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of different news reports out here, and some of the ones that you caught, they had a lot of those details. However, one thing they didn't mention is around 2 a.m. when the assailants were outside of Drake's house,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess they were a little bit away from Drake's house.
Yeah.
Outside of the house in the car playing loud music and
Oh,
screaming, and screaming obscenities at the house.
wait. Oh, wait. So is who's this? Has the authorities said this, or has the news said this, or you just know? Like you don't.
I caught this from the news. I didn't get. Put it
Oh,
this way, I didn't get it from the streets.
okay.
I got this from the news.
Oh,
But
wow.
I just, there's so many different news reports and so many different news stations that have been covering this that I don't know how that detail got missed in some of the bigger news outlets. But what they were saying is these guys were playing music outside the house, playing loud music, and cussing, doing a whole bunch of shit, trying to, I guess, lure the security guard over to the point where even other neighbors in the area heard the disturbance.
Okay, now, have you ever been to this area of Toronto?
Yeah, I've driven through that area multiple times.
Okay, so it's known to be this really affluent neighborhood, and put it like this: even where I live at, and my house ain't 100 million. If there's a couple Negroes in the corner drinking and bumping some honcho, that's a problem, right? So
sure.
just hearing even that on the news, does that sound like some normal shit? Or I don't know, maybe Drake's house is a tourist attraction that people just post up at having parties. I don't know.
Nah.
That doesn't seem
at
normal,
2 a.m.
right?
At 2 a.m.
Okay.
You're trying to cause a disturbance at 2 a.m. So if you're playing music, and from the news report I heard, they said that they were yelling obscenities. So
do we know what songs they were playing? Because that might be very interesting. If they playing,
I hope they ain't playing "They Not Like Us."
Yo, it's gonna matter what songs they're playing now. You know what I mean? Wow. Okay. So loud music. Okay. So now you know how, and I could pull up an article for I was gonna get into this a little bit later, chat. It's historically, I remember reading this maybe over a year ago. It was said that Drake's house was allowed to break certain type of codes for fences. Like he could have a higher fence than anybody else without the city getting mad. A lot of it for privacy, but definitely for security. Now, I say that to say his house was kind of almost designed like a fortress. If again, you've been there physically seen it. You don't think these guys were expecting to see Drake himself, or thinking that they were gonna get beyond the gates? What do you think?
I think that they were just trying to send a warning in some kind of way. Also,
Really?
I was on a radio show earlier this afternoon because anytime something like this happens, all the mainstream quote unquote white media stations and stuff like that who don't know shit about hip hop, they hit me up and they're like, okay, well, what's your take on this? Everybody and all these different news stations trying to connect Kendrick Lamar and whatever to this whole thing.
Yeah.
That's nasty work, B.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's always in the time of, yo, you're in a high profile feud. Whatever mans want to get some shit done, they're like, yo, you know who they're gonna look at. Let's run that play now. Obviously, for the people not involved in hip hop, that's where their natural inclination is gonna be. I quickly, like within like minutes, was talk to a few people that are like, yo, this got nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar. But it is good to have him as a cloak while they report it as such, because the real people, they don't really want to, they're not doing this to get caught. You know what I mean? And even though, honestly, I think there's so much police presence and there's so much police, focus on this, they probably will get caught anyways. But, at least the news are reporting, oh, he has a feud with Kendrick Lamar.
I don't think anybody's going to get caught, to be honest.
You don't think so?
Because if you have that kind of plan to go in front of Drake's house, the biggest rapper in the world, you're not moving sloppy. You're doing what you need to do and then getting out neatly. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many cameras are on site.
Really?
Or that would just be a dummy mission. You know you're going to get caught with a whole bunch of cameras around, so you have to have intention if you're going there.
I thought this was a crash out dummy mission.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so at all.
I think going to a famous celebrity house and letting off shots when you know that, like, I have a picture of like even the front gate, and this is while it was being constructed. I have it up. They got security cameras everywhere, right? The police even said this is on camera. Now, granted, they probably did some slick shit, no license plate, this and third, but I'm pretty sure like the police could kind of track however this car got there, all type of stuff. I think doing that just to send some random shots at a security guard, just to send a message, I think they're going to get caught. Also, here's the thing. Not only is the streets going to talk, people always act like when the streets talk, the police close their ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I'm pretty sure they could probably crack this case. But you really think
but
go ahead.
He got shot in the chest. Think about this. It's not like they didn't give him a leg ups. They shot this nigga in the chest. He could die.
That's true too.
Right? So in my opinion, when you're doing something like that, you're trying to send a message. You're not trying to shoot Drizzy, obviously, but you're trying to send a message. If it's a crash out thing, then what's the motive for the crash out? Then it would only circle back to the whole stupid Kendrick Lamar beef. If it's a crash out thing.
No. I think it's a message. We're not saying different things. I think, of course, it's a message, right? Because if it's not a message, you try to scale that motherfucking fence from somewhere and try to get up in that bitch to go find that nigga, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a crash out. I think it's a message that you hit the security guard, but it's a crash out because if you're trying to send a message to Drake, I would probably think maybe at his home would be probably the dumbest place to do it, where he's invested millions in security. It would be probably better if you knew he was in a tour bus or something. You try to just send a couple shots at that and drive off rather than drive to his house. Like that felt like, yo, you're almost kind of like walking yourself in a precinct, but you're convinced he won't get caught, right?
I feel like if you want to send a message to somebody and you send it to them at their home, you make them feel uncomfortable to be at their home. It's one thing to send, shoot somebody on a tour bus or whatever. You might not ever use that tour bus ever again. You might not be in that location. But if you shoot at somebody at your home, it's almost worse than getting a break-in and entry. You don't feel good now when you're driving toward the gate. You're looking over your shoulder to see if somebody's gonna pop out the bushes with a gun. Like, that's crazy shit, Act. You yourself, as a man who lives in a gated community, if you're not gonna feel as comfortable pulling up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to really send a message so that that a nigga don't feel comfortable anymore.
Let me ask you a question.
And at the same time, there's been multiple incidents over the years that have been, shootings around the OVO camp. There was the club that Chubbs had up on Adelaide years ago.
Yeah.
Where a gentleman was shot in the parking lot. Crazy. Like they had the shooter was driving and shooting at the same time. And it was out of the movie.
Wait, the driver was a shooter?
There was a few shooters, and one person in the back was shooting, and the driver was shooting as well. So when they were pulling the car up out of the parking lot backwards, when they were reversing, the driver continued shooting at the same time. There's a video of this shit.
No,
I was like, these niggas is cowboys.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Between me, you, and 100,000 people watching, do you think Drake immediately now knows where this came from?
Ooh,
do you think he has any idea?
Possibly. I don't think maybe he might have a bullseye right on the money, but he probably has a few things in mind of where it could come from. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, immediately I would think, who am I into it with like that? Who the hell am I into it with like that? That they feel that they have to send. That's a powerful fucking message. Like,
yo, Ak, there's one thing you didn't. Sorry to interrupt you, but you didn't review when you were covering the Family Matters video.
Yeah.
In the last beat, when he's over there,
he goes to
talking to that dude. Who the hell is he talking to, nigga? That's why I was trying to figure out when I was reacting to the shit. Who the fuck is that nigga with the bandana, with the tattoo on his neck that he's talking to?
Wait, are you asking this like rhetorically, or you're genuinely asking who he is?
No, I'm asking for real, because I watched your reaction. I did a reaction, and we assumed at first that it was some kind of Hell's Angels, but then when we looked at it a little bit more, that looked like a Mexican or some kind of, some kind of blood. So, and it was just a random conversation that's happening in the video. Why is it there?
Hey, from what I got told, this is what I got told. Okay, that's what I got told. I get a random call, and a random call that says, "Hey, listen, by the way, you see the guy who's Drake's talking to at the end of the video with the bandana?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the leaders of Hell's Angel.
Oh, shit.
And allegedly that guy lives in the neighborhood with Drake. He lives in Drake's neighborhood, allegedly. So he's in this neighborhood. Drake fucks with him. Recently, Drake posted a bike. Drake bike Hell's Angel. And I thought that was sending a message. I thought that was sending a message. Drake had posted some bike. See, even Keep Six posted. Yo, Drake flexes his Hell Angel ties on his story.
Yeah, I posted it too. And at the same time, there was years ago, there was a picture that he had with the Hell's Angels sweater.
Yeah. So from and it would make sense if I'm listening to Drake, who starts off the track. If you go to Family Ties, Drake Family, no, not Family Ties. I mean Family Matters. He literally starts off by saying, "You know who really bang a set? YG, you know who really bang a set? Chuck T, CB," and he basically paints out a picture like, you're not a guy like that. Like he's like literally says, "Yo." He said, but if you had a set, they would give you as a DP, but you a civilian gang. In real life, you PC. Now, I think a lot of people on the surface look at that to be like, yo, well, Drake, aren't you like a civilian too? And I think Drake, in a subtle way, not that Drake is repping nothing, is almost showing that, yo, I'm probably in or around the whereabouts of certain mans that's like kind of like that more than you are, bro. Just like we two different people. I think that's the only significance I could possibly see, because that whole thing where Drake is walking and talking to this dude, it's like really dark. There's just like something dark about it. It felt like it was like Drake ordering a hit. It felt dark.
Look at his facial expressions. He doesn't look like he's having a happy conversation.
Yeah,
it looks like they're having a serious conversation.
Yeah, it felt dark. And by the way, years ago, I think the Toronto Star, they wrote this
Oh,
whole like
also,
piece about. They said they were like, "Yo, why is he?" And the Vancouver Sun did too. They said, "Why is he rocking and supporting Hell's Angels so much?" You get what I mean?
well, I'll give you a Easter egg.
Go ahead.
My Montreal Connects stand up now fall down.
Oh,
Last Heart 6.
yeah.
So
I'm
originally I'm live in Toronto, but I'm originally from Montreal. Montreal, where the Hells Angels run, is basically one of the roots of the places where the Hells Angels come from, and that's most of the Hells Angels in Canada pretty much live in Montreal.
Oh wow, shit! This shit was already on Genius. It says Drake suggests his connections, whether shooters or intelligence, can be mobilized and stand down at any notice. And he says specifically, Canada has significant Hell's Angels presence. And they identify the dude. Yeah, Andrew Curnew. Yeah, Andrew Curnew, and they said that's Drake's neighbor.
That's crazy. So listen, I don't want to tie anything together. I'm not here trying to indict nobody or anything like that, but Drake got way more shit going on than issues with Kendrick, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of these media publications that are trying to say, well, the Drake Kendrick Lamar beef is exacerbated to a degree where, I don't know, it's gotten out of control. Like, shut the fuck up. These niggas, ain't nobody shooting nobody over no rap words, dog. No matter how deep or how crazy it gets. Ain't nobody shooting each other over that shit.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I'm looking up this dude. This oh shit. Yeah,
and even with this whole thing, when the guard came to see what the whole commotion was, that's when he got shot.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this Andrew Curnew nigga is pretty serious. Do you think that everything is strategic? Like that, like where Drake is planting these things in there.
But why is it there, Ak? That's the whole thing. Like, when we were breaking down the video, we were like, what's this random conversation? Why is it happening in the video where he's going at Kendrick Lamar? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's never anything done for no reason.
Well, if we go to the second verse of Family Matters, I always thought that verse was going straight at XO.
But that happens in the third verse. That happens in the third verse.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think, well, to me that was a little random. Like, with all due respect, and let me speak, because hey, listen, everybody know I'm part of the Pussy Nigga Association now. Relax.
We're going too close to the sun right now.
Ak. Yeah. I gotta let people know. What I'm saying is that, with all due respect to the Mr. Hell Angels and all of them, I don't think that would be the thing you put in the video to scare the Compton mans them. You get what I mean? I don't know. I felt like that was more
Hell's Angels all the way across North America, my nigga, all the way into LA.
Or maybe it isn't. Well, I thought that was some other shit. I thought that was some. I really feel like Drake was dealing with about 8 beefs at once. Like, he hasn't 1v1 nobody ever. Like, in this whole situation, he hasn't 1v1. Like, he's dropping these little Easter eggs because he's dealing with this nigga over here. He's addressing this one little incident here. So I thought that Hell's Angels, like, in the last part of it, because we got to think about the lyrics that's playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics that's, well, actually, I'm trying to, yeah.
You're talking about go to the lotto with all of my eyes. Go to the lotto with all of my eyes.
Yeah.
That's happening in this this segment of the video here.
Yeah. Yo, his facial expression while he's talking is like a mob boss who's like just tired of somebody fucking with them and is just telling like, yo, I got $1 million on it, man. Get that nigga off the mic, man. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Yo, even the way they're walking, people gonna be like, yo, Ak, you're doing too much. Yo, even the camera angle at first, which almost kind of looked like it's like a spy camera, like it's not supposed to be recorded. You get what I mean?
Exactly. And it's the way that the conversation is, it's a candid conversation. Also, which security got shot? We need to know that, because there's a security that's in this music video as well.
Okay. So those are like his
And they said
personal
a security
security.
guard that got shot was a 48-year-old security guard.
What?
There's a close-up of a security guard in this part of the music video. Is
Yeah.
that the same person?
So
Because they're outside.
what I understood, right? And again, I don't know the inner workings of Drake's operation, but
Me neither. Let's get that clear too.
Yeah. We're speculating. We're definitely speculating. So this is a security guard you're talking about right now. I have him on screen. That guy has been seen with Drake out and about. Like, I think that's the guy who people thought, they were like, yo, I think he's like battling steroids or something because he was wilding out at one point. And he's been seen with Drake walking around. There's another guy who I notoriously know his face is white guy. And those are like his personal bodyguards, but which would be smart if you're going to have full-time security at your house, whether you're there or not. You wouldn't have these guys just at your house, just watching the gate. These guys are probably trained to, know how to move, triangulate, like to make sure your personal safety is right. He probably just hires a company that probably has 3-4 guards just sitting outside his house all the time. They're uniformed, right? This big buff nigga is not putting on a goddamn uniform, I would think. So
he looks like he's wearing a ninja suit or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of samurai suit.
Yeah.
You know what's fucked up, Act? The security guards that are outside of Drake's house, because we're over here in Canada, they can't be standing outside with a machine gun.
Oh, could they have a gun?
Period? They should be able to do that because of the laws out here. The self-defense laws don't allow you. One, you can't. There's no handguns, so you can't have a handgun out here, right? You have to literally be a police officer to be able to walk around with a handgun, and you don't have police officers guarding his house. So if somebody rolls up on the house and tries to do something, what's the nigga gonna do? Throw a rock at him?
Do you think, I've never thought that possibly Drake could feel unsafe in his own city. Matter of fact, he actually makes fun of The Weeknd and XO by saying, you boys ran from the city. And that's probably a flex because he's still there. He's still accessible.
Yeah, and the additional flex on top of that is that he's not in a gated community. You could drive past that nigga's house. You can do tours over there. You know what I'm saying? Like he brings people over to play basketball and shit. Like he's making it like he's the ambassador of Toronto. Like he's the most accessible, famous artist in the world. When you really think about it, like there's videos of him in Yorkville, which is an affluent area where people go to dinner and go to clubs and stuff like that, of him just popping out of a restaurant, jumping in the convoy of cars. People can see him. People can touch Drake when they see him on road.
Hey, let me ask you this question about so New Ho King, which obviously got introduced in Euphoria by Kendrick, but obviously Drake shoots a video and he goes there in Family Matters, right? And he's seen pictured there, which, by the way, I thought that was like really interesting as well. He's in New Ho King, feet up, damn near on the chair. Him and Chubbs is chilling. Look like they're having a good old time. Look comfortable as ever. He got Pharrell chains with this one guy. What's that significance? And why do you think that Kendrick did that?
Well, it was already pretty much unhatched with the whole thing with the Sislak and the chain snatching and all that. Like, I don't know if Sislak was responsible for snatching Drake's chain. I won't go on record saying that. But the whole chain snatching thing did happen near that area with the New Ho King. The New Ho King, the whole thing about that restaurant is it's an after hours spot. It's a place that niggas in the hood can go to late. Right down the street from, because it's in Chinatown. Right down the street from there, it's an area called the Pio or Alexander Park, which is a hood. So hood niggas from there come over there. Niggas from, let's say, downtown, a little bit closer to like the West End, like Parkdale and places like that, they'll come over there. So it's a place where hood niggas will be at. That's not a nice. It looks nice on the inside, and I don't want to diss the restaurant, but that's not the restaurant where you go to get nice food. The food's just all right, but you can go there after hours and get a beer or whatever. And the problem with that is when that shit happens and niggas from the trap are going to go hang out at 3 a.m. then shit happens. There's been multiple shootings at that place.
Yeah, I did a quick Google search before all this shit popped off. And I was like, oh, this is a spot where people meet up with their ops.
Or maybe they're not trying to meet up with their ops, but you're trying to get low after a night of doing whatever you need to do on the streets, or things are getting a little bit slow. Okay, I'll pop in New Ho King, get a little bit of food. Okay, I got a call. All right, I'm out of here. Go get some more money. It's like one of those kind of spots. And the area is grimy.
I do want to ask you this one question because it's been like really on my mind. Kendrick is getting this huge push and this huge like strength from the back end of the West Coast. They're outside dancing to his song. They're making it seem that the entire coast is behind him. They're rocking with this guy right now. Yes. I'm wondering why we haven't seen any of the, like Toronto specifically, but any of the places that Drake kind of fucks with, like kind of doing the same for him.
I'll tell you why.
It really feels like, he's really in this alone. I've never seen Drake look so isolated before.
I can't speak for the other places, but I know Toronto, and for the people in the chat who know, it's the screw face capital. Okay?
What that mean?
So that means we'll screw our face at a concert, not show love, even if we have love for the person. We might shake their hand when they come off the stage, but we'll screw up our face when they're on the stage, singing their heart out or rapping their heart out. It's very hard to get the love from Toronto. Okay, so even though people love Drake out here, they don't want to be dick riders dancing around to the Drake songs that are winning in the battle. They don't have that same kind of energy as niggas in the West Coast. They'll call that dick riding instead of just showing love. You understand what I mean, At?
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Jeez.
Wow. Hey, Drake just dropped Buried Alive Part 2. What's this? Kendrick Lamar. Nah. You might have to do a quick search, but listen, it's a lot of. I did a hosting the other day, and I did a survey on the stage, asking people about the two songs that were up against each other at the time. I said, "How y'all feel about Drake's push-ups?" All right, and just to give you some context, I'm at the Stove God Cook show. You know who that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got grimy hip hop in the building, bunch of grimy white boys who only listen to bars and beats. I say, are y'all feeling Drake's push-ups? At first I got booze,
Really?
I had to run it back. I was like, nah, we're in Toronto. Are y'all feeling Drake's push-ups? And they said, So I said, okay, what y'all saying about Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria?
Oh! You're lying.
Oh. What the fuck? Did I wake up and I'm in Crenshaw or something? Like, what's going on?
Really?
So this is what I'm talking about.
And push-ups is a hard record.
Yes. But if you ask some of these real hip-hop heads in Toronto, Drake is the Antichrist for them, even though he's been putting on for the city forever.
Do you think people are just tired of his reign? And they're like, yo, enough is enough.
No, we got haters over here. The people over where you are at, yes, they're tired of that nigga. That nigga's been running the game for the last 13 years. He ain't even from where y'all at, and he light-skinned and Canadian, and I would imagine it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the first time that niggas try to take him out. They've been trying to do this from Jay-Z and the Throne. Come on, Act. There's been a concerted effort to take Drake out of his spot for the last 13 years. They put him on, and then he got too strong. They were like, holy shit. Jay was like, holy shit, this nigga's gonna be more famous than me? Oh, we gotta do something about this. And then from there, it's just always been, yeah, he's the guy, and he's always doing favors, but I think he does the favors because he knows niggas don't fuck with him, dog.
It was that top 5 thing, because top 5 thing was trolling. Are people or are like the artists that's kind of like rocked with him, that he's kind of name dropped, are they a little disgruntled with him or not?
Well, top 5 said he was trolling.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I don't know if I completely believe that act. Sometimes I with all due respect to 5, yes, he could be trolling, But some of these guys are some of these guys just get salty, fam.
Really? I'm surprised you told me that push-ups wasn't even ringing off in Canada.
Like I said, and I'll reiterate, screw face capital.
What
They'll have love
about
for the
Family
nigga. It's not
Matters?
like he doesn't have the numbers. He does a show over here in Canada, in Toronto. It's sold out. So he obviously has a fan base. But that hip hop core fan base, especially some of these niggas from the old school, they're salty, dog. I'm from that era. I'm from that time. So I know some of these salty niggas personally, dog.
Let me ask you this question then. I thought Drake had Toronto so within the palm of his hands. I was thinking, and I was actually going to suggest that Metro and Future canceled their tour date and their tour stop in Toronto, because it's no way you guys could orchestrate an attempted assassination of sorts on someone's career that is the life, the king, the emperor of Toronto, and then you come here and think you're gonna do a show and it's all gonna be well.
Yeah, you see the thing is with that, there's still, no matter how much I've said there's a bunch of haters, they're not predominant in the fan base or the population over here in Toronto when it comes to Drake. No matter what, predominantly there's people who love him, who fuck with him. But there's that percentage of people who are like, why is it him? Why wasn't it me? Why hasn't he done a collab with me? Why hasn't he reached out to me? Little just petty shit, right? And from there, you'll have those people who, when Drake is not doing good, they're like, yeah, good. Fuck him anyway. And that's, listen, I'm not part of that population, obviously, but there is that population that exists over here. Or the people wouldn't be booing at that show. Look at this again. Grimy underground hip hop show. All of these guys are backpackers, super lyrical. They'll probably lean more towards the Kendrick vibes. You know what I'm saying? Drake is there for the club. He gets the girls dancing and shit like that. These niggas ain't getting bitches, dog. So they're not gonna like Drake like that.
Hey, I just seen this video right here, and I ain't gonna lie. Can I pull it up? I'm gonna be honest, man. Toronto got to fix up, man. There's a video going viral on TikTok now. It got a bunch of people in front of New Ho King bumping Kendrick's new song. Nah, this is like, come on now. I'm playing it right now. Look. Oh, this is some other shit. Oh, it's probably somebody shooting a video. What the fuck?
Are they? No, they're playing something else. They're playing something else.
It looked like somebody sampled that, and they're making a new song off of it.
No, there was a news report where some kid went over to New Ho King, right when what was the song that Kendrick shouted out New Ho King? Was it Euphoria, right?
Yeah.
When Euphoria dropped, and before Drake actually went over to the restaurant and spent money with them, when Euphoria dropped, some nerd went over there and they got covered on a news special, said, I love Kendrick Lamar. That's why I came here. Dude probably don't even live nowhere near downtown and went all the way downtown just to go eat food at the damn restaurant that has okay food.
Hey, did you hear that there was a shooting 10 minutes before the one that happened at Drake's house? They said 2 miles away.
Yeah, they reported that on the news.
Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I don't know. I really can't speak on that. A lot of the information that I'm getting is from different news reports that I'm putting together as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here digging deep into the streets right now for this info. And, to be honest, for any info that I would get from the streets, I'll probably keep that to the chest.
Okay. All right. Well, without, again, you don't have to, we don't want to, we're not giving up no information that wasn't probably publicly known. but I'll ask you just gut feeling here. Based on just how Toronto street politics usually go, is it hot in the streets right now, or this is just random isolated incident?
I don't feel like the streets are any hotter than usual.
Okay.
We are getting close to the summer, but to be honest, I feel like it's been trending down. There has been statistics on the news that said that the shootings and stuff like that has been trending down, but we can't always believe what they say on the news. But as far as from what I can see, the temperature, there hasn't been multiple news reports every other night or every night like there is some weeks where it's just like, whoa, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's I won't say it's calm, but it's not as bad as it usually gets.
Okay. Daylight, rapper who is almost, I don't know if he's not signed to like the label that
he's on TD, isn't he?
I think he's on TD. I don't know what he does, bro. Sometimes he be trolling so much I can't even know if I'm about to believe him and tell the truth, right? One thing he had said, let me see, because I seen the tweet somewhere. He basically said someone called him from Canada and told him it was a no-fly zone. He said he laughed for 45 minutes straight. This issue, even though, again, we're not connected to any shootings, but the issue with Kendrick and Drake, it doesn't have Toronto, like, feeling any type of, ill will towards Kendrick, is it?
Like, what did I just say? These niggas is dick riding this nigga more than hating on him.
Oh, you said he's more lit now. Oh, shit.
Remember, Kendrick still has a fan base over here, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much Drake's fan base is super, super strong and he is the home team, there is going to be a percentage of people, a big percentage of people who are riding with Kendrick just because they like Kendrick's music from before. But on the reverse, I'm actually going to be in LA real soon. Is that going to be an issue for a Toronto nigga to go to LA? Am I going to be allowed to wear any of my OBO clothing in LA?
Well,
that could be a problem.
I think the two questions you got to ask yourself is: can you crip walk, and will you do it to not like us? Yo, this is what I'm hearing from people, and I kid you not. I haven't been to LA in a while, but they're telling me that this song united LA for the first time since like the 90s, and I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck does this mean? They're saying like this song is just bigger than a beef. It's like, yo, we're back on the map type of shit. Which is, the thing about West Coast is they have a really good camaraderie about having pride where they're from. It's like it's an identifier that unites them all. We from the West.
Yeah.
Holy
well,
shit.
Listen, I just hope that they don't have a wild type of energy for any of the Torontonians that are over there, because there's people from Toronto over there right now trying to get business done.
Yeah.
There's no hate, man. The battle was between Drake and Kendrick, not between Toronto and the West Coast.
Hey, by the way,
if the West Coast is taking it to there, it's them who's taking it there.
Hey, by the way, is there any other of the very popular Toronto rappers that still live within Toronto or notoriously have like, spots that they're frequently at? Because Drake seemingly kind of made that his home. And I'm thinking about, I think Tory lived in Miami. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where The Weeknd lived. Does The Weeknd live in Toronto?
Doesn't The Weeknd live in LA?
Well, I mean, I feel like everybody has a house in LA, but is he like usually in Toronto? I think Drake kind of alluded to it, like, yo, y'all are never here. But
they don't really. I've never seen sightings of The Weeknd around here. Like I said, there's been sightings of Drake at different restaurants. People say, "Oh, I saw Drake here in different places," but I haven't seen any videos and social media posts of The Weeknd popping out of any local Toronto spots. It doesn't mean that he hasn't, but I just haven't seen it. You know what I mean? He might be more low key than that. He might not hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. Yo, who do you have winning this beef?
I have Drake winning by a slight edge.
Okay.
But the thing is,
explain how you scored it.
There's a underbed that's been happening with this Not Like Us track, with the way that it's been rising.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It might not be over, man.
I think
we might need another round.
I think Drake just got. I think here's the thing. I think Kendrick has played a psyop on Drake, thinking that he needs to respond to shit, and I think Drake just got a hit song his way on out of this one, man. Hit song his way on out of this. You feel me? This Kendrick on 1 or 2 lines, but just create a slap, yo. Like, we really just need that Drake summer song right now, you know? That slap. That's it.
I think that the next move should be, yes, go for the big slap and don't make it completely focused on the next man on both ends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, throw your jabs, throw your shots in there.
Now, if I'm Kendrick,
the whole song
I
is
can't stop
focused
talking
on the next artist, then it's like, are we just going to be listening to beef tracks in the club all summer?
If I'm Kendrick, I'm mentioning Drake for the next year straight, because I seem to have his. I'm the fan favorite in this. Like, the people seemingly are celebrating Kendrick, you know, having any of these songs or even revealing anything about Drake. You know what I mean?
Why do you have Drake slightly up? We get like a whole bunch more songs, and these niggas may as well be drill rappers.
Why do you have Drake slightly up? Like explain your thinking when it comes to, you know, weighing the beef. Do you start it at push-ups? Do you start it at like that and first person shooter?
Like that was the warning shot. So then it was game on from when push-ups dropped. When push-ups dropped, I had Drake up.
Yeah,
up at like 100. And then when he dropped Taylor Made Freestyle, I was like, it's over. He's out of here. You know what I'm saying? He got this. But then when Kendrick started responding with Euphoria, I still had Drake at a slight lead. When he started following up with that whole barrage of tracks that he started hitting Drake with the what was the one first? Not 616, and then he came back with Meet the Grams. At that point, I was like, ugh, he might have a slight edge, because that was pretty scathing at that point. But then when Drake came back with this with Family Matters, actually no, I got the order wrong. Drake came back with Family Matters, and then Kendrick dropped. Right? Am I right with that?
Well, this last one, that's when he dropped.
No, there was 616, then Family Matters, then Meet the Grams.
Oh,
so
right,
when that happened, when that night happened, I had Kendrick up by a slight edge. But then when Drake responded with The Heart Part 6, over, done.
I think
that track was just too solid. His lyrical performance, the way that he was just putting the bars together, he came through like a battle rapper. I was like, holy shit, this nigga got the soul of Loaded Lux in him on that shit right there.
If this Not Like Us record didn't immediately start bubbling as a possible club banger, I think that say the beef ended before Not Like Us. I think people later on in time would have realized that what Kendrick did the best in this entire battle was master timing and strategy to drown out anything Drake was saying and constantly gaslight the audience to talk about things about Drake that Drake damn near had to respond to. Like, that's the greatest thing he did. He stepped on releases. He mastered timing. Like, that he outmaneuvered Drake in that sense. But song for song, I think over time people would have gave Drake probably his proper due. But then this Not Like Us record, I think it might be around for at least 3 months.
Oh, for sure. But we also have to keep in mind, with an opponent like Kendrick Lamar, I don't think Drake went into this battle thinking that it was going to be easy. Like, he knew he was going to have to load up the clip, make sure that he has as much different things ready, get as much beat packs ready as possible, so that if it gets crazy and it gets to 10 songs deep, he'll be ready. You know what I'm saying? So what are we, like 7 songs now? Maybe 4 from each, 4 to 3 from each.
Yeah.
They might be able to go another 3 songs each. I'm not trying to push niggas where giving them too much workload, but shit, this battle doesn't seem completely done.
Hey, I've had a difference of opinion about this whole thing. I think this is the last battle Drake should ever take. I think his time beefing is over for a few reasons. I don't think he'll ever get in a situation where he gains anything from a battle, other than proving to his own fans that he's the quintessential traditional MC that don't duck battles, and he'll never use the pop card to, oh, I'm not gonna do this battle. I don't think he ever gains anything from a battle. Second of all, there's too much things known about him, while with anybody else, we don't know that much at all. Third of all,
So, okay.
I believe now people want to see Drake get humbled and lose his time at the top. His reign is on borrowed time. Like, people have gathered to see the king fall, and it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change. It's like, they always say you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Let's see if to become the villain.
And